Yo, what's up? It's your boy Currency 365. Hope you guys are doing well. Legends never die, they stay in our hearts. If you want to support us, click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and also you can come down here and hit the join button under the video or in our channel section. And you can also join our Patreon, patreon.com/currency365. And we also have Cash App and also PayPal for supports if you want to sow some seeds. Peace out. God bless. Enjoy the video and keep the movement going. Legends. Bye. All right, all right. Welcome back to Currency 365. Hope you guys are doing well. All right, so this was posted in the Telegram group, the at Burns Tokens 1000 Burn Army group, and so I wanted to bring it to you guys because I thought it was interesting. It's just more confirmations about a lot of things, right? We don't have to get into all this stuff because we're not trying to do that this year. This year isn't about making the Shiba Inu dev team look bad or making or going at them this year. We did that last year, and it's a new year, right? So we don't need to do all that. But I thought this was interesting because it could be a good thing that they're starting to buy, right? Because we've been talking about that the Shiba Inu dev team don't really own Shiba Inu, and so they're more of a Shibarium dev team than a Shiba Inu dev team, right? And what did I tell you guys yesterday's video, right? In the Satoshi confirmation video, Satoshi says that we don't have a trillion SHIB tokens to do any types of burns. We don't have Shiba Inu. We don't own Shiba Inu like that, right? So and that was just confirmation of what I've been saying over the last couple of years, right? And then you saw Matthew Perry make a video, you saw Claybro make a video as well about it, and you saw other people make videos about it as well, Um, but there's one thing I said in my video that could be a game changer, right? And that was that we need to see the Shiba Inu dev team start buying Shiba Inu and doing what I say lockups. Copy Jasmine, right? Because Jasmine Coin is supposed to be doing these lockups right now. If you want to know what's good about to happen with Jasmine, we did a video today on Patreon, so you guys can watch that. I'm not gonna say anything. It's on Patreon. If you want to know what's next for Jasmine, what's about to happen with Jasmine, you can go to Patreon and find out. Patreon.com/currency365. I'm not gonna reveal it here because people are paid members for that, right? So okay, but either way, Jasmine here, I mean not Jasmine, but Shiba Inu here, and the dev teams could really change the game here if they started to publicly buy Shiba Inu, and start to lock it up, right? Because this would number one, this benefits Shiba Inu because the dev teams are publicly buying it. So now we don't have to say that the dev team don't own Shiba Inu, they don't care about Shiba Inu, because now the dev teams are publicly buying Shiba Inu, and then they start to lock it up. They introduce a lockup program. Now, somebody that could introduce a lockup program is the marketing director of Shiba Inu, which is Lucy, right? So Lucy could be the one who says, "Yeah, we are going to start a lockup program, a buyback lockup program for Shiba Inu, and the dev members are going to be buying Shiba Inu publicly here, and we're going to be locking it up for a year to 5 years. Some lockups will be a year, some lockups will be 2 years, some lockup tokens will be 3 to 5 years. This benefits them because." Number one, the price is going to start to move because people are going to realize, oh, the dev team are back in the Shiba Inu, and it's actually happening, right? And so it's going to give confidence for people to buy Shiba Inu, okay, and do the same thing and want to buy because now they see that Lucy and the devs are buying Shiba Inu publicly, right? And then second, it's going to help benefit the dev team because now they're going to have Shiba Inu for the future that's locked up that they get to unlock in the future when Shib's in the pennies and dollars, right? And so they're going to be able to make a lot of money that way. So it's a win-win situation for the entire Shib army if we start to see the dev members start to buy back and burn, and even create a program of buying back and lock, not buying back and burn, excuse me, but buying back and locking up. They don't have to throw their money out the window. They can buy back and lock up. Okay, so then they get to unlock these tokens later on, where they can then sell for $100 million, $10 million, even billions of dollars in the future. Okay, so it's a win-win situation here. The price of Shib gets to go to the upside, while the dev teams get to have confidence that people know that they're actually in Shiba Inu, and they have tokens locked up for the future. I hope this is the beginning of that. I want to see more Shiba Inu dev members start to come out and say that they're buying Shiba Inu and show proof that they're buying Shiba Inu, and then maybe introduce a buyback and lockup program, okay, just like Jasmine's doing, okay. This is only benefit. I mean, this would start to make Shiba Inu move to the upside as significantly here, right? So, okay, so Lucy says, you guys are creating FOMO. Let's go. Shib, I'm feeling the 2021 vibes. And then she has history traded for Shiba Inu, $3,315 for 101 million Shiba Inu tokens. Okay, and that was this morning at March 12th, 2024 at 10 a.m. Okay. And then Robert down here says, we need a big burn. Starting to retrace our gains. Well, look, they just did a big burn. They just did a 13 billion burn, right? And that cost them a lot of money. That was 300, 400, 500,000. I mean, how much is 13? I mean, a billion is like $30,000, $31,000 right now. So, you know what I mean? So just a billion tokens is $31,000. So a 10 billion token is 300,000, plus they did 13 billion. So they did like a $400,000 burn just the other day. So, and it is what it is. So yeah, we need more burns. We need the auto burns to get going. But the problem with the auto burns is that it's linked to the gas fees, and the gas fees are trash. The gas fees are not even competitive. They're 10 zeros and a one, and they celebrate that instead of saying, "Wait a minute, are we a real company or not?" Real companies, we would, if we were a real company and a competitive company, we would have our gas fees competing right next to B&B's, and we would be having, and that would create a ton of money to come into our system. It would bring a ton of money for the dev members to get paid. It would be and also marketing and all that stuff. It'll be more partnerships. It'll also bring money in for burns. It would also bring money in for liquidity, for Bone, and maybe and for Shibarium and Shiba Swap and all these things, right? But the fact that the gas fees are so cheap, and it takes 100, it will take 100 years to make 2 cents off of these gas fees. That's a problem, because B&B's gas fees are between what, I don't know, 5 cents to $1, and they make billions of dollars every day from their gas fees. And this is why B&B can go back. They can take that money and they can burn more B&B tokens and make it more deflationary. They can do all types of stuff with their company. They have liquidity to fund their exchange. There's never a problem with getting your money out, because they have this liquidity through the fees of the gas fees, right? Now, that person asks Satoshi, "Hey man, can you go ahead and burn 1 trillion tokens?" If Satoshi had the gas fees similar to BNB, he would be able to burn 1 trillion with no problem. Oh yeah, we'll get it off. We'll just get it off the gas fees, and we'll burn it this week, no problem. That's the reason why we thought Shibarium was going to be so beastly and so successful, was because they were going to have these gas fees because of the transactions, and all the projects would be launched, and they would have these gas fees, and they would have 10 million transactions a day at between 1 to 10 cent, $1 gas fees, like BNB, and they would have this capital to be able to burn trillions of SHIB and to be able to fund different projects and different advertisement. You know how much money they're missing out on by keeping their gas fees that cheap? They should have advertisements of Shiba Inu running on YouTube and running on Twitter and Instagram and all over the place. They would have the money if they increased their gas fees to 1 cent, right? And have it comparable to Binance. All of that money they're missing out on. It's ridiculous. Right? Missing out on all that money to burn Shib Inu and make it less and make it deflationary and prop it up to 1 cent, right? So you can be in the top five. All of that can happen with the gas fees. Now, of course, we being normal human beings know that that is what they should have done. So why didn't they do it? I know why they didn't do it. WEF. How about that? Right? I mean, it's very clear. Right? It was the WEF that told him not to do it. So you would, because they would make billionaires if they increased their gas fees to Binance's gas fees. This is why the lung community won't do it. The same problem we have because you have these gatekeepers in the lung community with the validators that are overseeing it to make sure that that chain doesn't succeed. It's the same thing happening here, right? You have the few people that are gatekeepers for the WEF that are making sure people don't become super wealthy to challenge the authorities of the cabal and the elites, right? So to not let that happen, we got to make gas fees down to 10, 10 zeros and a one, and then celebrate it as if it's a good thing, knowing that you're missing out on billions of dollars a day in transactional money that you can use to do a lot to for your community and your dev members, right? So it's just the control that we're seeing here. All right, but this is a good step here by Lucy buying and making it public that she's buying Shiba Inu. I would love to see the other dev members do the exact same thing, come out and start buying Shiba Inu publicly, and then even possibly holding on to that ship and then doing some type of lockup program where you're doing a buyback and lockup programs for the future of Shiba Inu and the Shib army. I think that would be a big deal, and I think that will give Shib a lot of boost to the top. All right, let's get to the charts now and look at since we talked about that. Let's get to the charts now and check it out here on CoinMarketCap. You can see Shib is falling 4%. Markets are down as well, 1.94% on the crypto markets today. Now there is some tokens that are doing very well, and we talked about that on Patreon. But there are some tokens that have broken out and done really well and hit some of our targets, and so we were celebrating that on Patreon. But other than that, yeah, Shib's not doing too well. Down 3%, fluctuating between that 3 and 4%, trying to hold that 3 area there. And then let's see here. Let's go to pause zone since we have it up. And Paul's just flushing to the downside here, down 12% here, flushing out here. And what's the other one? Sheena. And I talked about Sheena the other day, and I told you guys there's a lot of people that that claiming that they're for the community, but reality they might be for the community, but they also have a dump bag where they just constantly dump this thing as well. Um, and which isn't good because it just makes people not want to buy. When you constantly see people dumping a token, you don't want to buy it, right? And so it just stops people from buying this because when's the next dump, you know? And so that's the problem. That's the problem we have because every time we get up here to this 20 million on market cap, everybody knows that a big dump's coming, and so nobody wants to buy. And why would I buy if I know a big dump's coming every time we hit 20 million, right? That's the problem. So we're back to 17 million, and so that's where we are right now. We're at 17 million. We haven't had any really big burns lately either. Not really big ones that I've noticed, but maybe I haven't. I need to check the chain to see if there's any burns here for Sheena. But Sheena is poised to take off if they allow it to. The problem is there's a bunch of people in here that are in that Telegram group, that are not allowing it to explode. Every time it looks like Sheena is about to go, they dump. So, and yet they're in the group saying, "Yeah, Sheena's for life, Sheena forever, and Sheena is the one." And yet, while they're tweeting that, they're dumping Sheena, right? So it's like, when will you guys realize that? The same people that are tweeting Sheena's the one and in the Telegram group saying she's the one are the same people dumping on you. There's only 7,000 holders, folks. So majority of the people are not the ones dumping. You and I aren't the ones dumping. It's the people that actually have tokens to dump are the ones that are dumping, right? That means that it's the leaders of the Sheena community because they're the ones with most of the tokens, not you and I. I don't have most of the tokens of Sheena. I own. I think I own 8 billion tokens. That's about it. 8, 9, 10 billion tokens. You know, I don't own 100 billion Sheena tokens, right? So I didn't want to for that reason because I didn't want to be blamed for the people constantly dumping this thing. And they say his currency is dumping. I don't own that many tokens on purpose. Now, of course, it's a nice dollar value right now, and so that eight. What are we at? 2017 minute market cap. Okay. So, I mean, what does 8 billion tokens give you right now? 8 billion tokens is what? I don't even know. I don't even know what the dollar amount. I would have to check what the dollar amount is. But isn't that like 12,000 dollars or something like that? Maybe a little bit, maybe more. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it's something around there, right? You would think, right? So somewhere around there. So it's not a big deal, right? And I'm just hodling that, right? So it's like, I reduced my supply long time ago because I realized that the community wasn't going to do anything, and so I got my 8 billion. If it fell back under 50, if it fell back to 10, I'd probably grab two more and make it 10 billion tokens. Why not, right? Because here's the other one, bad idea, right? So I have 100. I have 100 billion tokens of bad idea, which is basically about $4,000, right? So because 100, all you have to do is go by the number here, right? So if you have 100 billion tokens and it's got one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, it's got a ton of zeros, right? So 100 billion, then you got 10 billion, 1 billion, 100 million, 1 million, a hundred thousand, 10,000, um, or something like that, right? I don't know. It equals to four. It's about $4,000. So I'm not sure if I did that right or not, but it's about $4,000, right? So about $3,900. All you got to do is just follow this, right? So it's about $3,900 right now, right? So if you got 100 billion tokens, okay. So it's not a lot of money, right? It's not a lot of money. I don't have a lot of money in this stuff, right? So eight, so Sheena's like right now, like eight, like between like 12 to 16,000 dollars or something, whatever it is. And this one is like $4,000 right now. So it's not a lot of money. Now, of course, if these things explode, then of course it becomes way more than it becomes way more than anybody can think about, right? So, but they have to explode, right? People have to stop dumping, right? And that's the problem we're having with these two. These two, every time they hit 20 million, somebody's always constantly dumping, and it's just nothing we can do about it. I mean, it's just there is nothing we can do about it. That these guys just constantly, and we don't know who these people are. And I'm starting to believe that it's not these random people out of nowhere. It's the people in the community. It's the people in the bad idea community. It's the people in the Sheena community that are constantly dumping these things every time they hit those benchmarks. And then they come out and tweet, "I'm with the community for life. I'm on." Those are the people you need to be worried about. You know what I mean? And that's why I don't even communicate with a lot of these people anymore because I'm starting to realize that these people that are saying that tweeting all this stuff, Sheena for life and Sheena is this and that and she's the one, they're the ones dumping. It's the same thing what happened with Vote Inu and all those guys that were saying the same thing, and then we find out when you dig into their when you dig into the blockchain that they're the ones dumping, but yet they're putting vote lightning votes all the time and saying how great vote is, and yet they were the ones that were dumping. It's sickening. It's sickening to be a part of that, right? And it's frustrating for investors to be a part of that, right? And I'm like, it's awful, So because you got people out here that are putting their hard-earned money that work their butts off, that scrap up $100 so they can invest in this, and they believe these people. Voting you to this and voting you that, and Sheena this and she's the one, and this and that and bad idea, and then yet they tweet those things in there in the Telegram group, and yet they're dumping on the people. It's awful, right? And so this is what happens. And so I mean, you can't explain that, can you? You know, and then when this happens, the leaders, what happens to those leaders? They got quiet, right? And they move on to other things. Oh, now they're talking about this token and that token, right? So, it's awful. It's awful. And so we had to watch that for ourselves, and we were like, okay, there's something going on. And I believe it's the people who are the ones that are constantly tweeting these things and the lightning bolts and tweeting all these things. They're the ones that are doing. They're the ones that are dumping. That I mean, it just becomes common sense after a while. So that's why I don't talk to any of these people. As you guys notice, I stopped talking to all these people because I realize that they're playing a game, and it's a sick game that they're playing. They want you to believe that they're for these tokens and stuff, and they might be long term because they might have a bag long term, but yet they're the ones that are keeping it down as well. It's the same thing the Luna Classic validators are doing. Right? Oh yeah, we're for the chain, even though we hold no lunk tokens and we hold no USTC tokens, and all we do is when we get our reward, we dump them so that we can go buy a new Mercedes Benz. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, when will the people smarten up and wise up and say, okay, we can't trust any of these people because they will tell us that we're here for life, but yet they're dumping and they're making sure that their family is taken care of, but your family is not being taken care of because they're dumping on you every single day, and that's the problem. That's the problem we have in this, and with these some of these companies and these communities and these partners and stuff, and it's awful. All right. So what's the other one? Bone. So we can get out of here. Bone is here. So it's good to see that the Shiba Inu dev team is buying, and that they continue to start buying publicly more, and they start a buyback program. That's going to be really bullish for Shiba Inu, right? And so we will love to see that. We will love to see Lucy buy more, and Saitoshi buy, and all these other members of the dev team, of the Shibarium dev team, buy more Shiba Inu publicly, and then start some type of buyback program where they're going to lock some of these tokens up for 1 to 5 years, and just give that confidence to the Shib army. Okay, so here's Bone, and Bone's struggling to stay over $1 right now, right? So that's awful, you know. But anyway, so that's what's going on, folks. It's a down day today. We're down almost 3% in the markets. Let me actually click here to see what's going on. Oh, Bitcoin dropped significantly. Wow. It was just at 72,000 this morning. Now it's at 69,000. Wow. Bitcoin dropping like a fly. Ethereum dropping as well. Okay. So, yeah, we're getting the big drops here. XRP is down 8%. Wow. Okay, so that's what's going on. Bitcoin's dropping, everything's dropping with Litecoin down 9% today. So it's a red day today. Maybe money's moving into the stock market probably today, and that's probably what's going on. Money's moving into the stock market, so a little bit of the money that came into the cryptos is moving back into the stock market today. Most likely that's what's happening, and we'll get back on track in a couple of days, in my opinion. All right. That's it, man. Peace out. God bless. Hope you guys are doing well. And yeah, sometimes you become the bait, and they say, how long are these people gonna not realize that we're dumping on them? And so I think this is the week that we realize that these all these people are not your friends. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care what they say on social media. That's why I don't talk to them anymore. And it's like, these people are not your friends. These are the one people that are dumping Sheena on you. These are the people that are dumping bad idea on you. These people are dumping on you. Like, this is crazy. And so I'm hoping that the community can wake up here and say we're not we're going to hodl and we're going to buy your tokens and we're not going to let you dump anymore because if you don't allow them to drop the price, they can't buy it for cheap anymore and then dump on you again, because that's what they do, right? They'll wait for the price to get down here in the red, they'll load up here, and then they'll dump here on you right back down. And if you don't allow the price to get back down here, then they can't buy anymore and they have less tokens. And then you force the price up and you force the price to stay up. And they can now they have to go to their hodl bag and now you weaken them. That's how you play the game. All right. So, anyways, peace out. God bless. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. You'll be surprised who's dumping on you on Sheena, by the way. You think they're your friends, right? You think they're for you really ride with them until you realize they've been the ones holding your wealth back. Ooh, you would be so mad at these people. You will block them. That's how mad you would be. But I ain't gonna say nothing. Anyways, peace out. God bless. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.